Hello students, this session is in continuation with my previous session. In the previous session I discussed about road transport, about railways, and today I am going to discuss about waterways. After this session you will be able to understand the ocean transport routes. In ocean transport routes there are different routes like the Northern Atlantic sea routes, the Mediterranean Indian Ocean sea routes, the Cape of Good Hope sea routes, the North Pacific sea routes, the South Pacific sea routes, the Suez Canal, Panama Canal, inland waterways, the Rhine waterways, the Great Lake, St. Lawrence Seaway, the Mississippi waterways. So let me begin with the facts and figures about waterways. Marine transportation drives 80 to 90% global trade, moving over 10 million tons of containers, solid and liquid bulk cargo across the world ocean annually. Throughout the history, people and goods have moved between continent and across oceans by sea. Marine transportation can effectively and efficiently move almost any goods, though the advent of air travel proved preferable for perishable and high-value goods. The Industrial Revolution further improved ship transportation by capitalizing on the capability of internal combustion engine power and subsequent adoption of containerization once again dramatically changed maritime transportation in the name of efficiency. The process of containerization was another shift for marine transportation, as ships now need not be designated to a specific good, since all contained in a standard unit. And intermodal connections also became completely leveled. A container can move from a ship to a transport truck, bed to a rail car with ease. In this way, cargo capacities by various means of transportation can be measured in container unit called the 20-foot equivalent unit or TEU due to a 20-foot standard container. More often, the containers seen on trucks, on highways and on large transport ships are 40 feet in length or 40-foot equivalent unit, that is known as FEU. The inherent similarity and lightness of a container greatly assist with standardization in marine transportation, going so far as to be regulated by International Standardization Regulation, that is known as ISO 1496 series. The marine transportation sector has been consistently raising the bar for the bigger ships with higher TEU or FEUs, which enables and allows for an increase in trade overall. Under the guise of globalization, this standardization brought about through the use of containers is what revolutionized marine transport more recently. Further, heightened technological capabilities continuously pushes the ability to society to mechanize transportation process. For example, by building bigger and faster ships capable of hauling more cargo over greater distance and with greater speed, marine transportation has never been a more viable option for global trade than it does today. You can refer this particular figure which says that world fleet by principal vessel type, and this data is of 2018. The source is United Nations Conference on Trade and Development in 2018. So, review of maritime transport in United Nations, New York. Another very important factor choosing water transportation is the low intrinsic cost it involves. Cheapness of water transport is due to a number of factors. First is, it is not necessary to construct a route except for the dredging of harbor channels. Second is, sea transport involves less power than by rail or road transport. Third is, transport costs are distributed over large loads, thus lowering the cost per ton. And fourth is, at comparatively low speed, friction is less on the sea than on land. Various types of ships, large as well as small areas, are used to carry freight. It has been estimated that nearly 12% of the ships are in the category of large ship of gross tonnage between 10,000 and 85,000. Tankers have gross tonnage between 85,000 and 1 lakh. More than half of tonnage is carried by freighters of 500 or more gross tons. More than 90 countries have registered ocean steamers and motor ships. Europe accounts for 53% of the world gross tonnage. 10 countries in descending order, if we register the tonnage, these are the United Kingdom, Norway, Greece, Italy, Netherlands, Germany, France, Sweden, Denmark and Spain. Most of these countries have long been imported in maritime shipping. They import industrial raw material, foodstuffs and petroleum and export large quantities of semi-finished and finished product. Now I am going to take you to the Northern Atlantic Sea Route. The links northeastern USA and northwestern Europe, the two industrially developed regions of the world. The foreign trade over this route is greater than that of the rest of the world combined. 1/4 of the world foreign trade moves on this route. It is therefore the busiest in the world and otherwise called the Big Trunk Route. Both the coasts have highly advanced ports and harbor facilities. Rich agricultural, commercial and industrial regions of Europe export large quantities of manufactured items, textile, chemicals, machinery, fertilizers, steel and wine to United States and Canada. Bulky and large quantities of food grains and raw materials like wheat, wood pulp, copper as well as iron and steel transport, etc. Transport equipment is sent to Western Europe through this route. Now I will take you to the South Atlantic Sea Route. This sea route connects West European and West African countries with ports of Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay in South America. The ocean traffic in South Atlantic is far less than that in North Atlantic because South America is comparatively less densely populated and has limited economic development. Only southeastern Brazil, the Plata estuary and parts of South Africa have large-scale industrial development. There is also very little trade on the east-west route between Rio de Janeiro and Cape Town because both Africa and South America have similar products and resources. Coffee and cocoa from Brazil and wheat, meat, wool and flax from Argentina are sent to the industrial countries of North America and Western Europe in return for manufactured and semi-finished commodities. So after that, I will discuss briefly about the Mediterranean Indian Ocean Sea Route. The sea route passes through the heart of the old world and serves more countries and people than any other route. Ports at Aden, Mumbai, Colombo and Singapore are some of the important ports on this route. The construction of Suez Canal has greatly reduced the distance and time as compared to the earlier route through the Cape of Good Hope. This trade route connects the highly industrialized Western Europe region with West Africa, Southeast Asia and the commercial agriculture and livestock economies of Australia and New Zealand. So you can understand the importance of this particular trade route. In fact, all ocean-bound traffic from Europe to Africa, Asia and Australia passes through this route. The eastbound cargo mainly consists of machinery and industrial products. The westbound cargo includes mineral oil and agricultural products such as cotton, rubber, tea, coffee, sugar. Ports at Aden, Mumbai, Kochi, Colombo and Singapore, these are some of the important ports on this route. Before the construction of Suez Canal, this was the route connecting Liverpool and Colombo, which was 6,400 km longer than the Suez Canal route. The volume of the trade and traffic between both East and West Africa is on the increase due to the development of rich natural resources such as gold, diamond, copper, tin, groundnut, oil palm, coffee and fruits. Now let me take you to the Cape of Good Hope Sea route. The sea route is another important one across the Atlantic Ocean, which connects West European and West African countries with Brazil, Argentina and Uruguay in South America. The traffic is far less on the route because of the limited development and population in South America and Africa. Only southeastern Brazil and Plata estuary and parts of South Africa have large-scale industries. There is also little traffic on the route between Rio de Janeiro and Cape Town because both South America and Africa have similar products and resources. With the increase in the tempo of economic development in the independent African nations and the exploitation of their rich natural resources such as gold, copper, diamond, tin, chromium, magnesium, cotton, oil palm, groundnuts, coffee and fruits. The volume of traffic round the Cape of Good Hope and from ports in both East and West Africa is one of the increase. Trade across the vast North Pacific Ocean moves by several routes which converge at Honolulu. The direct route on the Great Circle links Vancouver and Yokohama and reduces the traveling distance of 2,480 km by half. Now let me take you to the North Pacific sea routes. This sea routes links the ports of the west coast of North America with those of Asia. These are Vancouver, Seattle, Portland, San Francisco and Los Angeles on the American side, and Yokohama, Kobe, Shanghai, Hong Kong, Manila and Singapore on Asian side. Trade across the vast North Pacific Ocean goes by several routes which converge at Honolulu. The direct route farther north of the Great Circle links Vancouver and Yokohama, reduces the traveling distance of about 2,480 km by half. Wheat, timber, paper and pulp, fish, dairy products and manufactured goods are the main export from North America. The trade from Asia mainly consists of manufactured goods such as textile, electrical equipment, and these are from Japan, Hong Kong, South Korea and Taiwan. And tropical raw materials from Southeast Asia such as rubber, palm oil, tea and tin. Let me take you to the South Pacific Sea Route. This is the fifth one. The sea route connects Western Europe and North America with Australia, New Zealand and scattered Pacific islands via Panama Canal. This route is also used for reaching Hong Kong, Philippines and Indonesian. Goods transport are most wheat, meat, wool, fruits and dairy products and manufactured articles. The distance covered between Panama and Sydney is 12,000 km. Honolulu is an important port of this route. Now, what is coastal shipping? It is obvious that water transport is a cheaper mode while oceanic routes connect different countries. Coastal shipping is a convenient mode of transportation with long coastlines, for example, USA, China and India. Schengen states in Europe are most suitably placed for coastal shipping, connecting one member coast with the other. If properly developed, coastal shipping can reduce the congestion on the land routes. Now next I will describe about the shipping canal. The Suez and Panama canals are two vital man-made navigation canals or waterways which serve as a gateways of commerce for both the eastern and western worlds. Now let me explain you about the Suez Canal. It is man-made waterways in Egypt. It is a sea-level canal without locks. This canal had been constructed in 1869 in Egypt between Port Said in north and Port Suez in south, linking the Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea. It gives Europe a new gateway to the Indian Ocean and reduces direct sea routes distance between Liverpool and Colombo compared to the Cape of Good Hope route. The Panama Canal. The canal connects the Atlantic Ocean in the east on the Pacific Ocean in the west. It has been constructed across the Panama Isthmus between Panama City and Colon by the US government, which purchased 8 km of area on either side and named it to Canal Zone. The canal is about 72 km long and involve a very deep cutting for a length of 12 km. Panama Canal has a lock system. It has 6 lock systems and ships cross the different level 26 meter up and down through these locks before entering the Gulf of Panama. It shortens the distance between New York and San Francisco by 13,000 km by sea. Likewise, the distance between Western Europe and west coast of USA and northeastern and central USA and East and Southeast Asia is shortened. The economic significance of the canal is relatively less than that of Suez Canal. However, it is vital to the economies of Latin America. Now let me discuss about inland waterways. River, canal, lakes and coastal areas have been important waterways since time immemorial. Boats and steamers are used as means of transport for cargo and passengers. The development of inland waterways is dependent on the navigability, width and depth of the channel, continuity in the water flow and transport technology in use. Rivers are the only means of transport in dense forest. Very heavy cargo like coal, cement, timber and metallic ores can be transported through inland waterways. In ancient time, riverways were the main highways of transportation as in the case of India, but they lost importance because of competition from railways, lack of water in rivers as they were diverted into canal for irrigation, making them unsuitable for navigation, and of course poor maintenance of inland waterways. Waterways are major source of transport wherever the river is wide, deep and free of silt. The significance of rivers as inland waterways for domestic and international transport and trade has been recognized throughout the developed world. Despite inherent limitations, many rivers have been modified to enhance their navigability by dredging, stabilizing riverbanks and building dams and barrages for regulating the flow of water. The development of inland waterways is dependent on several factors such as width and depth of the channels, continuity in the flow of water and transport technology in use. Now let me discuss a little bit about the Rhine waterways. The Rhine flows through Germany and the Netherlands. It is navigable for 700 kilometers from Rotterdam at its mouth in the Netherlands to Basel in Switzerland. Ocean-going vessels can reach up to Cologne. The Ruhr River joins the Rhine from the east. It flows through a rich coal fields and the whole basin has become a prosperous manufacturing area. Düsseldorf is the Rhine port for this region. Huge tonnage moves along the stretch south of the Ruhr. The waterways is the world's most heavily used. Each year, more than 20,000 ocean-going ships and 2 lakhs inland vessels exchange their cargoes. It connects the industrial area of Switzerland, Germany, France, Belgium, and the Netherlands with North Atlantic sea routes. Now, after that, let me take you to the Danube waterways. This important inland waterways serves Eastern Europe. The Danube River rises in the Black Forest and flows eastward through many countries. It is navigable up to Torna-Severin. The chief export items are wheat, maize, timber, and machinery. And now I will take you to the Volga waterways of Russia. Russia has a large number of developed waterways, of which the Volga is one of the most important. It provides the navigable waterways of 11,200 km and drains into the Caspian Sea. The Volga-Moscow Canal connects it with the Moscow region and the Volga-Don Canal with the Black Sea. There are 2 major inland waterway systems in North America. The first is the Great Lakes St. Lawrence waterways and the second one is the Mississippi waterway. So let me talk about the Great Lakes St. Lawrence seaways. The Great Lakes of North America, Superior, Huron, Eyre and Ontario are connected by Sioux Canal and Well by Canal to form an inland waterways. The estuary of St. Lawrence River along the Great Lakes forms a unique commercial waterways in northern part of North America. The port on this route like Duluth and Buffalo are equipped with all facilities of ocean ports. As such, large ocean-going vessels are able to navigate up river deep inside the continent to Montreal. But here goods have to be transshipped to smaller vessels due to the presence of rapids. Canals have been constructed up to 3.5 meter deep to avoid these. This waterways has helped in the industrial and economic growth of the region. So now let me discuss about the Mississippi waterways. The Mississippi Ohio waterways connects the interior parts of the USA with Gulf of Mexico in south. Large steamers can go through the route up to Minneapolis. In many countries of Southeast Asia, rivers play an important role in carrying people and goods, but inland waterways of eastern China and India are comparatively more important in terms of volume. China has many large rivers, but some of them, especially in the eastern part, are more developed for the water transport. The Huang, the Shangjiang and the Zi river are navigable. The densely populated Sichuan region is linked with Changjiang Delta, where a dense network of canals has developed. Ocean vessels can reach up to Hangzhou through this particular route. River Ganga in India is navigable up to Patna. There is a regular steamer services between inland and Bangladesh throughout the Sundarbans area. Kerala is another state where inland water transport through the backwater is prospering. India has long coastline. There are coastal services to carry passenger and goods. Although the Amazon in South America is the longest river in the world and is also navigable up to Iquitos in Peru, which is 3,680 km from Atlantic coast in the east, it has not yet developed due to sparse population and low economic development of the region. Let me take you to the Paraná-Paraguay waterways at the end. It is the most important riverways in South America. This river system discharges its water in the Atlantic Ocean through the estuary of Rio de la Plata. As such, large ships can enter the waterways. Paraná is navigable for ocean vessels up to Santa Fe, located at a distance of 240 km. Paraguay provides accessibility to river steamers up Ascension. This waterways has well-developed hinterland and connects the productive interior to the Atlantic coast. To cap it all, we can say that among the different types of transport, waterways dominates the world trade and key for the economy of the countries. Apart from this session, I am very sure that now you may be able to understand different trade routes at international and national level. Please try to explore these trade routes on your own. Please try to see the stretches and why are they important.